Good morning. Whew, almost didn't get myself back up on screen. Good morning. This is Fancy Nancy from FancyNancyStamps.com, and today I am on day 8 of my 15-year celebration with Stampin' Up. It's my anniversary month, and I'm sharing it with all of you by sharing 15 different videos of card making. This is an exciting time for me because 15 years is a long time. It's almost half of the years that Stampin' Up! Has existed as a company. Stampin' Up! Is a wonderful friendship-building, creative company, and that's why I choose to work with it. And so I'm very happy to share that anniversary with you today. Today we're going to be working on we're going to use the Pansy Petals, is that right? Yeah, Pansy Patch, excuse me. Pansy Patch stamp set and the matching dies to create a fun card. So let's just get right at it. Let's see what I've got here. There we are. So today we're going to make this fun card. I practice this card, as I always do before any class, but especially before going live. And I've made a couple adjustments since I started, so we're going to talk those through as we go along, but we are going to have fun with this card. It's a happy birthday, and it's a pleasure to use this card. Okay, let's start out with me just sharing with you what I used. I started out with an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of soft succulent, one of our new beautiful colors. And so I folded that in half, creating just your standard card base. And then I decided that I wanted a layer of our beautiful new fresh freesia. And on my original card, it was just a regular piece of paper. But I decided that I wanted to add some texture to it because for me, the more texture there is, the more comfortable I feel. And so I want you to see that I use this texture embossing folder from Tasteful Textures Suite. And it created a piece of paper that looks like this. And I want to make sure that you can kind of see that texture. I think it's going to make it more interesting. And we'll just add that one in right now. I always laugh because, you know, I have named my business Fancy Nancy, but truly it's not because I want difficult cards but that I really like the layers that are here and that it's just fun. So then my next thought was I wanted to use that new shimmery vellum that came in with this Pansy suite. And so that paper originally looks like this, and I don't know if I'm catching the shiny, glittery, yummy. It's just a matte on the back, but it sparkles on this side. So I cut a piece, well, my white piece of paper here is 5 by 2.5, and then I cut a piece of this silvery, glimmery, yummy paper, and it is 5 by 2 3/8. And then I decided that I wanted to give it texture too. So can you see the texture that I put in there? And I used this wonderful, and right now it's going to just escape me which one this is, but it has little branches and butterflies on it, and it just makes for a fun piece. When I stamp my directions for this, when I type them in my comments, I will definitely share which one that is because that's not fair to you guys. So I'm just going to very lightly put down some adhesive. It doesn't show through with this glimmery paper, which is a treat. And I want to put it on, by the way, if you use this folder, I want you to know that there is an up and a down. So you want to make sure you look it over real well. And I want to put it on this piece of white because it glitters even more when it has a white background. And I just want a sliver of white on each side. So I'm just going to put, oops, hopefully I can still get that up a little bit. I went cattywampus, but good. You love those words like cattywampus. Those are words your grandmothers used. Yeah. I admit I do too. All right, there we go. So we've got that piece. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the, as well. And then the magic's really going to start. So far, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. We've used 2 embossing folders. Yep, this falls right into the Fancy Nancy category. So I'm just going to apply this. There we go. So we're ready for our next step, which is to create the flowers that we're going to use. And so I'm going to get out a piece of white paper and a piece of fresh freesia. What is the fresh freesia for? Well, I want to have a backing, an interesting backing, so I'm using the double oval punch, and I'm going to use this kind of scallop looking one, and I'm going to cut out the piece that's going to go there. So we're done with that. Ooh, another layer. Next we're going to stamp using this group of colors. I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape, Fresh Freesia, our Evening Evergreen, and our Soft Succulent, and I'm going to use my Crushed Curry Stampin' Right to finish this off. So those are the colors of the pansy that, oh, there's one missing. Oh, here it is. I also used Blackberry Bliss, and I really wasn't happy with Blackberry Bliss. I tried Navy Blue, I tried Razzleberry, but I settled back on Blackberry Bliss, so we'll just go from there. So let's just start with the pansy itself. And so I want my background of the pansy to be my lightest color. And so this is the one with the least amount of detail in it. I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia. So I'm going to stamp that right now. And I will tell you, and I got it out, these photopolymer stamps really like a soft, cushiony. You'll get your best impression. And believe me, I tested that out this morning too. So let's go ahead and just put down this background. Ooh, I love that color. And we're also going to have a small flower, and I want its background to be this Fresh Freesia as well. So we'll go ahead and put that down. Nice. One color down. Then the detail we're going to do in Gorgeous Grape. So let's see what I have here. We'll use this one. I want to get lots of good ink on it because it's what makes this pretty. And the beauty of a photopolymer stamp is that you can lean down. Yes, I probably have my head in it. And line it up. If it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. In two-step stamping, it's simply adding detail. And we're going to do the exact same thing for our flower, our little flower. We want to add some detail to it as well. And we'll do that with Gorgeous Grape. There we go. Another color. We're going to add what I laughingly call the beard to the pansy. And I am going to use, I'm looking for the right stamp here. I am going to use Blackberry Bliss for this. And someday I'm going to find the right color that really makes me happy, but this is the one I used. Okay, we've got that full on. And when that dries, I'm going to add a little yellow to the center. Yes, it has a stamp for that, I'll be really honest, but when I can just use a pen to do the exact same thing, I choose to do that. So now I'm going to add my stems and my leaves. So let's just start with our stems first. And for this, I'm using Evening Evergreen. You are going to be so happy when you see that there are framelits for every one of these things. So it allows us to really do our job. So there we go. I am going to do some leaves, but when you're doing the leaf, you want to do your background in your lightest color, which in this case is going to be soft succulent. So we're going to do 2 leaves. And we're going to follow up with detail in our evening evergreen. And again, it's just your 2-step stamping, and you're just adding some detail. Done. Okay, now I'm going to go back and add that yellow to the center of this pansy. And to do this, I'm just using crushed curry. Very simple. Why did I wait? Because I didn't want any of my colors to bleed. I didn't want it to blend, so I wanted to make sure that it was dry. And last but not least, we do have a happy birthday. At least I hope we do. Yes, we do. And I am going to do that in evening evergreen. And knowing my punch as I do, I want to put that happy birthday at the top. Is that right? Yes, it is. We're just going to do that. And now all of our ink work is done. Now here's the beauty. There are framelits. And I'm going to get out my 3M tape, and we're just going to, oh my gosh, a coyote just ran across my backyard. Good thing I don't have pets outside. All right, so we're going to add our framelits. And you can see that I just went around the outside, and I'm using 3M labeling tape, and I can just adhere that. I am going to add this stem. Yes, we have 2 leaves and we only have 1 die, but we will just go back and catch that at the very end. We'll add this one. A little flower. Sometimes it's a little easier when I actually add more space between them, but I'm pretty comfortable with this today. And I should have punched before I... All right, so now one pass is going to take this through my die cut and embossing machine. I was wrong. I love it when I waste paper. And I'm also going to stamp, or excuse me, punch up this happy birthday. All right, so with that being done, you know I'm going to go over to the machine and I'm going to do it. You know, the magic of television, magic of video, I have already done that. So I have these pieces ready to go on our card. So let's start with our happy birthday. Which one do I like best? This one. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. Looks like I had a little fun with that dimensional. And I always say you get 400 dimensionals every time you buy a package. Don't short yourself. Put as many dimensionals as you think you need on a project so that you've got the lift and the emphasis that you really enjoy. And I really should lay this down first. And I'm just going to put this down flat. And I did find that I really need to make sure that I've got enough adhesive because it's hard to stick to that wonderful, gorgeous, glittery paper. And I'll add my happy birthday. That makes me feel good. There it is. So let's go ahead and add our stem right about here. And I'm going to use glue for that. Our green bottled glue, and I store it upside down so it's ready to go. Be very gentle. Don't put too much on there. There we go. Then we're going to put our leaves on. Same thing. I'm going to use up my glue. I liked these nice broad leaves. You almost can't mess up with those. On the other hand, I'm not sure if they're, what's the word I want? In scale with the pansy itself. Now I want the pansy to get lots of attention, and whatever I want to have attention, I either add texture to it or I give it dimension. In this case, I'm using the dimensionals to lift it up and say, here I am, world. So we're going to do that. I always do this. Which way should it be? Obviously, I don't have pansies in my garden. There we go. Now, I also have this little bloom, so I'm going to do the same thing with that stem. I kind of want this stem to go out into the fresh freesia. That was kind of my plan. So we're going to make sure that it's, again, I just want more interest. And I will use the tiny babies dimensionals. I am so glad they came up with these, because there's so many times that they are the most helpful thing on the planet. I had kids club on Sunday, which means I have about 6 children that come and join me and are learning to stamp. They are absolutely adorable, but I do have to say they have no idea how to get rid of these little white papers from the dimensionals, and it seems like they're everywhere in my house. And I just have to laugh because I do my fair share of catching them on my clothing as well. All right, I want to add some of our genial gems, which come in, it appears like it's soft succulent, and I think it's pale papaya. I wanted the pale papaya as it's getting away from me. As the center of this flower, and it will bring that yellow that I already put into it a little bit forward. I also want to add some of the soft succulent. Boy, these are just snapping out. And I'm going to put those along with some little ones here. I think that's where I'm going to go with that. It's about how far I'm going to go. I've got my 3 gems. They're not exactly in a triangle, but I always do work for that. But isn't that pretty? Look at all that dimension. Can you see it? I'm going to lift it just a little bit closer. That is like, woo, woo, woo. All right. So let's just see what I've got going here. I want to go back. Here we go. I want to tell you a little bit about what's happening in the Fancy Nancy Stamp Studio. Wednesday, I guess that's tomorrow, is the last day to sign up for the In Color, the online In Color Club. Let's talk about it for a minute. The In Color Club means that for 5 months you're going to receive one of the In Colors each month. You will, and when I say you're going to receive a color, you're going to receive what I call the ensemble. And that means that you're going to get the ink pad, the re-inker, the paper, and the stamping blends. In addition, you'll also get a card kit, and the card kit is going to have the makings of 8 cards. It's going to be 2 each of 4 different designs. There'll be beautiful cards, and I can't, excuse me, I can tell you that it's going to be the pansy theme. So if you do not have the pansies, you'll also want to pick those up too, and I offer those to you at 18% discount. How much is this beautiful little package? Well, it's $43 shipped directly to you. Now let me tell you, that's not all. At the end of the 5 months, you'll also receive a package of the In Color Designer Series paper, and a set of gems from me just as a free gift for participating. And because you would be ordering this during my 15-year celebration, I'm also sending you the Stampin' Rights, the In Color Stampin' Rights as a free gift from me. That is an amazing value, and so I really encourage you to join me because it's going to be really, really fun. Beginning Thursday, I will begin to tell you what's happening with the online card club as well. I have the 2 clubs going at this time. Both are just, like I say, always great values. If nothing else, I would love to have you join my email list so I can continue to tell you about the sales I'm having, the classes I'm offering, because I want to make sure that you know that I'm offering you something that, frankly, I think it's just a great bargain, but more importantly, it's great quality. So please do that. I've put the address on the information regarding this video. Sign up for the email list. I promise you're going to get a special little gift from me immediately in the mail. I look forward to getting to know all of you better, and that is the whole point of my 15-year celebration. I have shared on the 7 previous videos that the first 15 years of my Stampin' Up! Career have been about face-to-face meeting. The pandemic taught me a lot, and one of the things it taught me is we don't always get to be face-to-face, and so I have been learning how to invite people into my workshop via film, videos, Facebook, YouTube, and that's exactly what I want to continue to do. It's been really fun. I'm continuing to meet my friends face to face as well, but there's so many more people out there that I haven't met yet. So please join the Fancy Nancy group. Know that there's absolutely no strings attached. I just want to get to know you. If you've liked this video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and a comment. Share it with a friend. That would really, no greater compliment. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a class at 9:30, so I will not be online until 1 o'clock. But I will be back at 1 o'clock with a video for you. It will be day 9 of my Stampin' Up! 15-year anniversary. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day and do lots of stamping.